Good morning again. Love that. Thank you, Lord, for another day that I get to be here. Thank you for the ability to wake up and broadcast and say good morning to other people. Thank you for another day I get to live, to be with the people I love or communicate with those that I want to communicate with or enjoy this day. Thank you for this coffee. Start off with gratitude so that everything else is icing on the cake. And thank you, Lord, for another day that I get to go into battle. Every day is a battle, isn't it? For some of us, it's interesting. Because there are some tasks that we do that is not necessarily something that we love to do. Is it a battle if we're doing tasks that we love to do? Is it really a battle if you want to do what and you get to do what you're doing? I say that because it struck a memory in me where I was working with this one Marine, his Recon Marine Special Unit, and he was telling me about a particular another soldier, or another Marine that always, and we counted 4 instances that he had to actually go hand-to-hand combat and killed his enemy. And it was interesting because he said this word, matakal sa gulo yun. And that means he's greedy for war. And what he meant by that is he said, that guy is so lucky that he gets the opportunities to face the enemy in hand-to-hand combat. It wasn't hand-to-hand, it was weapon-to-weapon combat, right? Bladed fights, they study that. But he got to see that. And I'm like, wait a minute, but what about you? Oh yeah, I got into battles and skirmishes, but we had firearms. It's not the same. We fought as a unit, not the same. He got to do that. And I'm like, he's the lucky one. It happens to him. I want to pull my knife. I want to be face to face. I'm like, and this is a lucky thing. Yeah. Because I'm a warrior. I'm bred for this. I was made to do this. What is a soldier without a war to fight? I thought that was very interesting. Look on that. And so when I saw the gleam in his eye, the passion he had to do what he was bred for, what he was trained for, is it really still a battle if you don't get to fight? Or is it a battle that you don't get to fight? I know this to be true of working as a contractor and talking to some of the Tier 1 guys, yeah, especially those who aren't called up to fight, who were never sent, but they're trained to do so. Interesting, isn't it? But that's one of the things I'm saying. Is it a battle if you get to do what you love doing? It's the same idea also of saying it is a battle if you don't like doing what you're doing, even if it's something that you're not bred for. You know, recently, the reason I have to broadcast from this area, so I have to take care of someone. The new battle that I've been facing as a caretaker of someone you love, especially when you're doing things for them that you never thought you would be doing. Sometimes you're caring for them because they can't, you have to clean them up and you do different things that you never thought you would do. Now, granted, I worked in the medical field. I was working in the hospital. I saw it all the time. Doing my own job as respiratory therapist, have to go in there, clear up sputum, suction people out, clear out the drainage, all that. And I see them, helping them out, change someone. It comes in nature, but that's our job. That's what we get paid for. It's different when you have to do it on your own. So different that there happens to be a time also that when you look at that, you look at the people you care about, and you do stuff that you're sometimes not prepared for. Sometimes that when you look at it, you're saying, it's frustrating that I have to do this. That you have to care for someone. You see that they're weak when you used to see them strong. And I as a person, I as a warrior, I hate weakness in people. I can't stand negative people. It's something just me. It's my issue. I understand why people fall for where they are. But weakness is something that I detest. Weakness when I see it in myself, I detest. Weakness everywhere. That's a warrior creed, right? We fight through it. Get up and fight. But when you see those strong people lose that, then I had to change my mind and saying, it's not that they're weak. It's that they're giving up their battle of being prideful and giving you the chance to honor them. What does that mean? It's not easy for someone who's so prideful, who's a strong statue of a person, to let somebody just take care of them when they feel they should be able to do everything themselves. The humility that's involved in that. But it's also an opportunity that they get to choose and let you have that honor of caring for them. I will give up my pride and be very humble today for the man that I used to be and let you see me this way and care for me. It's a mind shift that I was playing with. But then it also turned it to a different mind shift. It's not a sacrifice if I love doing it. That can go both ways. Maybe I love doing it because it is a chance for me to honor someone who's done so much for my family and myself. In the process of having to do stuff that I don't like doing, that I find difficulty in doing and everything else, I stop and say, stop for a second. Remember this. Don't think about the task. Think about what you're doing for someone. Don't think about the task. Think about the grace they allow you to do for them. Think about the good that you are now able to do because they gave you that opportunity. Don't think of the task. And it, like, wow, thank you for that, Lord. Thank you for that thought. Because now what was a task is love. The hospital work that you do and everything else, you get paid for it and everything else, but you still care when you do it. That's caring. In the reminder of that I get a chance to do it, as I'm doing this, as I'm like, oh man, this, I stop doing that and go, remember the time when they were busy and you were busy and they came to that. Remember the times when you were sick and down and out and they were there. Remember the times when you couldn't do anything and they were there for you. Remember of the laughter and the love that they've given you and find strength in that, not about the task. Because a task can either decide if this is a battle. I hate doing this. This must be a battle. Well, maybe so. But battles can come from different ways. Sometimes the battle isn't a task. The battle is in your own humility. Oh my gosh, look what I'm doing. Really? Look what you're doing? You're showing love. You're doing something lovable. You're giving of yourself. You're sacrificing for someone. Is that a bad thing? You're given a chance to do that. Sometimes the battle isn't in not the task that you're doing. The battle is you realizing that you have to give up a portion of yourself for somebody else. Now, how are you able to get through the battle much easier? When you turn it into something that is out of love. And isn't that interesting? All you need is love in everything that you do, in every task that you do. When you care for them and everything else, like, this is not a task. This is love. It softens the task. It empowers you. Many of us are in this state right now. If I'm going through it, I know a lot are. Don't be discouraged by the task. Like everything else, it's going to pass, right? It's temporary. You have this temporary moment to show your love. Not the task. You have this temporary moment to be accepting the grace that they allow you to do for them. It's a gift. What? It's a gift? Yeah, it's a gift. Not all of us get ever have a chance. I remember conversations where people would say, well, yeah, I saw how they were in the hospital and what they were doing with them, and I could never do that. You could never do that? Well, what happens when you have to do it? You did. And then you look back and go, I got to do that for them because now I also realize that this person I'm caring for cared for their parents the same way. And I remember back in the day, I'm like, wow, you're such a strong person for doing that. Oh, how could you? Oh, I could never see myself doing that. Well, here I am. And that's the grace that I've been giving this challenge. And what I used to think, because I don't like it, it's a battle, then don't turn it into a battle. Love what you're doing. Realize it from a different point of view, that this is not a task, but this is you showing love and care. Make lightheartedness of it from the mishaps. Sometimes you'll have mistakes and everything. Make a joke out of it. Well, that's what I do. You know my sense of humor. That's all I've been doing. Oh my God, what crawled up there? Oh my gosh, look at that. Ooh, that's a Picasso work of art. But you got to do that. And it's not a battle if you put love into it. And if it is a battle, then you get to do your warrior stuff. And that's the way you look at it. Some of us are lucky that we get battles to face. Lucky that we get to go to war. And war can be different in different ways. But if you put love into it, war of love, how lucky can we be? That Marcaida here. Enjoying this morning coffee, and I'm going to go battle another day with love for a person that means a lot to us, a lot to me. Take care.